Namaste. Welcome to this short video practice of the yoga breath called Bhramari, or sometimes called the buzzing bee breath, mostly because that's the sound that you make. So if you have never done any breathing or yoga breathing before, please go back through the Contented Yogini back catalogue and search for the basic breathing and introduction to pranayama practices first. But for those of you who've been practicing for a little while, who have a really good awareness of your breath and can manipulate your breath a little bit, this breath is a really nice way to alleviate some of that mental noise that goes on in our minds, bring us some peace and quiet, and it is incredibly relaxing. So if you're struggling to sleep, or if you know that you have a challenge falling asleep, then doing this immediately before bed is really good, or in the middle of the night if you've woken up. And it can also be useful if you've got chronic stress, or if you feel overwhelmed or anxious, those sorts of things. So very, very useful all-rounder, and it's gentle, which is quite nice. So there's a particular position of the tongue used for this breath. It's called a mudra, and it's Chakari mudra. And for it, you put the tip of your tongue, that bit right at the end, on the roof of your mouth. There is an energetic reason for that, but I won't get into that stuff at the moment. It's just the action of putting the tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth keeps your teeth apart as well, stops them chattering together and causing odd sounds or sensations in the head. So practice that first, putting the tip of your tongue anywhere from the part of the mouth that's just behind your front teeth all the way back to the soft bit at the back of your palate, upper palate there. Wherever is comfortable. It has to be somewhere your tongue is comfortable to hang out for a while. People have been known to get cramp in their tongues, so a little bit further forward is usually a bit easier. And then with your tongue in that position, just notice if you're able to soften the effort around the sides of the jaw and just let the jaws hang in proximity but not close together. Awesome sauce. And you can relax your tongue at the moment. Then find yourself a comfortable seat. So I'm kneeling today because I find it more comfortable for my knees than sitting cross-legged. But you could sit in a chair. You can sit in any position, as long as you feel able to create a bit of openness across the front of the body. So we want to avoid any hunching or slouching, keeping the spine elongated so that we get as much space around the breathing apparatus as possible. And for some people, doing chin mudra, first finger and thumb together, the rest of the fingers long, can promote a long, deep breath, which is useful. So if you like to, you can rest your hands in this position or simply rest your palms flat, whichever you prefer. So with this breath, we're going to begin by only making a sound, which is a buzzing sound, on the exhalation part of the breath. So if I demonstrate, and then we can do it together. So tip of the tongue, roof of the mouth, deep breath in, and then buzzing. And what you may notice is that the effort or the technique of making a sound on your exhalation makes your exhaled part of the breath much longer than it normally would be without that sound. I'm going to move the microphone a little bit closer towards me. Let's see if this works without causing any problems. Lovely. And we will try that all together. So you're humming or making a hum sound on the exhaled part of your breath, tip of the tongue, roof of the mouth. Whenever you're ready, join me. We'll do about 5 or 6 of these. Deep breath. and a normal deep breath in. And again. Deep breath in. Tip of the tongue, roof of the mouth. 3 more in your own rhythm of breath. And gently relaxing your tongue, closing your eyes if you like to, gaze downward if you prefer, and just observe the effect of your practice. When you're ready, you can blink your eyes open. And remember, you can keep your eyes closed for the whole time if you would like to. That's not a problem. Sometimes the breath is more effective when you've got the stimulus of sound if the eyes are closed, which removes the stimulus of sight, which is good. But don't feel that you need to close your eyes if you don't want to. So when you first start learning this breath, sometimes it's very forced. So as we continue with this breath, try to soften that hum. So you're not like humming as loudly as you can, but just allowing a soft, gentle resonance through the head area of the body, head and neck. So the second stage of this breath is to block your ears while you do it. And to do this, there's a little flap of skin just in front of your ear holes and the ear holes, and more attached to the face. And we can push that gently into the hole that the sound gets into the ear with. So just have a go at that. Make sure it feels comfortable, maybe one side and then the other. Very good. So this is a little more hygienic, I think, than actually putting your fingers in your ears. But you could also use earplugs if you prefer not to hold your ears closed. So in this next round, we will do the same breath. So 6 breaths, tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth, and the ears closed all of the time. And if you can, leave the tongue on the roof of the mouth for the whole time as well. If you would like to, you can close your eyes as well. I will just begin, and then we can do it together. Shoulders nice and relaxed, elbows nice and relaxed. Tip of the tongue, roof of the mouth, deep breath in. When you've completed your 6 breaths, releasing the fingers away from the ears, releasing the tip of the tongue from the roof of the mouth, letting the tongue relax. And with the eyes closed or gazing gently downwards, simply observing your breath and the effects of your practice. When you're ready, you can blink your eyes open if they've been closed, or look up if you've been looking down. So our second stage is perhaps a little bit more profound, a little bit more effective. And when you're learning, it's good to sit around this first and second stage until you get used to doing this with your shoulders really relaxed and your face really relaxed as well, because then the effects are increased. So if you have not practiced Bhramari before, then stick with these first 2 stages. Maybe give yourself a few goes without the ears blocked, and then a few breaths with the ears blocked, and work up to about 10 or 15 breaths, if you'd like, before taking some time for quiet reflection. And it's a really great gateway practice for a bit of mindfulness or stillness or meditation, whatever you prefer. For those of you who've been doing Bhramari for a while, then you can progress to stage 3, which is to breathe in and out, making the humming sound. So here the roof of the tip of the tongue stays on the roof of the mouth all of the time. The inhaled breath sounds differently from the exhaled breath. The inhaled breath will be shorter than the exhaled breath. So let me see if I can demonstrate this. I will start with an exhale. Most pranayamas start on the exhaled breath. And likewise, pranayama should finish on the exhaled breath as well, for the most part. So you can hear the difference between the inhaled and exhaled parts of the breath. It is much harder to make a lower resonant hum as you breathe in, as the air travels differently over your vocal cords. But it doesn't need to be particularly low on the out breath either. That's just my range is pretty low of voice. So practicing this a few times, either with the ears closed or without the ears closed. Let's do 6 breaths. So that's 6 complete exhaled breaths. I think there'll be 4 inhalations. And see how you get on. So 6 exhaled breaths. Whenever you're ready, either fingers in ears or not, tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth. So when you're ready, you can release the fingers out of your ears, if they've been in. Release Chakari Mudra, allow your tongue to rest naturally in your mouth, maybe swallow. Soften your face and observe the effect of your practice. And when you're ready, you can blink your eyes open if they've been closed. So you might have noticed that your resonant humming fluctuates a little bit. It might go or instead of being continuous. And that is just practice. So as you become more practiced, that resonant humming will become smoother, if you like, and more continuous. And the other thing is that this breath works through some energetic blockages. So it's possible that if you've got something sitting around your throat chakra, then it might take you a little while to work through that with this breath, but it is effective for that also. So I hope you've enjoyed this breath. If you need to relax your tongue or to release tension from your tongue, you can stick it out and wiggle it from side to side. Or move your jaw around, soften your shoulders. Maybe take a moment to sit for meditation or lie down for some relaxation after this video, because it's the perfect time with a quiet mind. I hope you enjoyed Bhramari. Please do join me again for another practice. Namaste.